The job market in 2025 is absolutely brutal. And I got some articles today, and just like this one, that are showing that, hey, if you're entering the job market right now, it is absolutely brutal. It is cutthroat. And if you're just starting off, it is even harder because most of these jobs that are saying like, hey, entry level, not so entry level after all, because they're saying that you need this experience and you need this, and it is an entry role with 5 years of experience. And so this puts you in a very, very interesting spot because you can then say, hey, I got value, I can provide, I can do all these tasks for you, but I don't have the experience. So then they're going to push you down on price. But one of the key things is that you have the drive, you have the knowledge, and you have the determination to make it happen. But not so with everybody. So I'm going to go over a video and we're going to talk about it and do a reaction of the job.
All right, quick rant. This is going to be about the job market, so lock in. So I just graduated from Yale University, an Ivy League here in America, and I still don't have a job. This might be shocking to many, but the job market is it's just piped right now. I really don't understand how people are finding full-time jobs. I really don't get it. Throughout the school year, I was actually working some different jobs, doing some brand ambassadorships and UGC creation positions for side shift. But like, I need a full-time job. Like the clock's ticking right now. I don't know if this is a rant or like a cry for help. But like, if anyone can help me find a job, or if side shift, if you're listening, if you're offering full-time jobs, please reach out. I need something, please.
So let's look at this video that this particular person did. And so one of all is that he's calling himself Black Yale grad can't land a job. And I always hate when people say, oh my gosh, I'm first generation immigrant, because that's what I am, and then they use that as an excuse. You should never ever use your background as an excuse to go anywhere, because you have the determination and you can do it. And when I see stuff like that, that reminds me of my employees. What a shocker. When my employees come to me, they say, oh, the company's doing better. Let's get a raise. And I say, why would you want a raise? They say, well, the company's doing a lot better. And to that I gotta say is no. Because just because the company's better doesn't mean that you get the skills required for me to give you a raise, because there's a market value for you in the workspace. And then just because the company's better doesn't automatically give raises to everybody because, hey, the company's doing better. Because how would you feel if the company's doing worse? And then I say, just kidding, I'm going to give you a pay deduction. So no. But the underlying factor here is value. Not once in this video have you said what you're really good at, what you can provide, what you're exceptional at, how your work ethic is, how you're going to provide any employer value. And it comes down to exactly that. If you own tire shops, you own small businesses, and somebody comes in and says, I can increase your sales by 10%, then I would say, how are you going to do that? And if they say, here we go. I've been working at this other store, and these are my proven things. I've closed so many people. I did all this, and I bet you I can hit key KPIs to sell more people, and it will positively affect your pocket. And then you're thinking, this dude just walked in and said, you know what? He's gonna make me more money. But then I got Dave over there sitting with his finger up the nose, hasn't showered in a week, has bad breath, and customers are like, couldn't care less for him. And you got this new guy coming in, dressed nice, looking good, and he said he can increase sales. I think it's time for Dave to find another job in my shop and relocate him to something else, to do inventory, to do some runs for parts or whatever. And all of a sudden it's like, let's give it a shot for 30 days. See what you got, hotshot, and see how it works. And it is all about value. If you can deliver value, then you're gonna be fine. But when you say, I graduated from an Ivy League college, I did all this, nobody in this market really gets where you graduated from. Unless the hiring person is also from that university and says, oh, do you know Mrs. James or whoever? Do you know this person? Besides that, can you deliver? How much are you going to cost me, and how much are you going to either make or save? Those are the key things. And when you demote stuff and say, oh, I'm Asian, black, white, Caucasian, or whatever it is, and they say, oh my gosh, my they're discriminating against me, then leave. You can always leave and find another job. But I'm telling you, this is never a good thing to do, because there's many Americans that thrive in an environment like that. And I tell you one thing, in my company, if you wanted to do sales or you wanted to do something else, and you are 400 pounds dressed in a unicorn and pink as you can be, and you deliver the best quality work, hey, we'll accommodate you regardless of your beliefs of whatever it is, your skin color, whatever it is, doesn't matter. And Kevin O'Leary says the great, money does not have emotions to it, and neither do companies. Companies either make a profit or they don't. So if they don't make a profit, it's not good. If they make a profit, it was well worth the risk and it was well worth hiring you. So think about how you, in your situation, if you're thinking about, hey, I'm going to graduate, how am I doing this? And you can start making, hey, project portfolio, do some freelancing stuff. And just a newsflash for you, if you're going to do stuff like that, it's not going to be you're not going to hit home runs in the first few tries. It's just not going to happen. You're going to have failures. You're going to try. You're going to have issues. You're going to have upset customers. You're going to have a whole bunch of stuff that is not good when you do it first time. But guess what? After doing it a few times, you can say, hey, I freelance. I know customer service. I know how to deal with payments. I know how to deal with that. And all of a sudden, you have a bunch of good skills, so you can then go out in the job market and get a high-paying job. Or you work at Starbucks and gain customer service, you gain cash register, inventory management, customer satisfaction, and all these other types of stuff. And then you go out and you portray that, hey, these are my numbers. This is what I've increased increased sales, increased the bottom line. I saved, with my technique, we saved the company, I don't know, $5,000 worth of inventory that we sold, rather than just tossing it out. And all of a sudden, it gets the employer thinking like, now that's a good hire. And so this is just a mind shift that I want to teach you guys today. That hey, if you shift it from, hey, this is me, to hey, this is what I can provide. These are my skills. These are my personality tests. This is what I can do. And all of a sudden, there's a shift that happens. And when you're looking at everything around you, there's a value associated to it. Could be bad, could be negative, or could be neutral. But if you go to a Rolls-Royce store or a Mercedes-Benz dealer or to your buy now, pay later, they all have different values. They all have different how they approach you as a customer, what they offer to you. And it's interesting to me because they said, hey, I looked into Rolls-Royce marketings, and they said, we don't go to car shows anymore because when we go to these car shows or when we go to these high-end auto shows, nobody really likes to buy Rolls-Royces because we're so expensive. But then, if we go to yachts conventions and display our Rolls-Royces, all of a sudden we're a bargain deal. So it's all about positioning yourself in the market accordingly to your value. And you can't have Rolls-Royces sitting next to Toyotas, because then you're like, is there value? Can I attract the same people? But then when you go to a boat convention and there's people that buy $2-3 million yachts, or 5, 10, whatever it is, I don't know, but I've never been to one of those, but I've seen them on podiums. And when I did my research, all of a sudden, a $200,000-300,000 Rolls Royce is just an impulse purchase. And now we're looking at, okay, the value's there, and they've clearly figured out where to position themselves. And this is where you come in, and you need to figure out where you want to position yourself in the marketplace. And one piece of advice I have is you always want to position yourself at, hey, I'm a go-getter, I do all these things, and be, at least in this market, where you're like, hey, I can provide this, I can do all this, and show them proof. Make a project portfolio. Say, hey, this is what I've done. Be interactive. Be somebody that you want to work with or work for. And when you're coming into interviews blazing and being cocky, snobby, nobody wants to work with that. And so you position yourself out of bounds. And don't position yourself out of bounds. Position yourself so you can score the touchdown. And there's still, in the United States, I'm telling you, for people that don't believe me, there's so many opportunities. Most of the time is that you're looking at the problems wrong, you're looking at the opportunities not the right way, or then you're not willing to sacrifice enough to get to where you want to go. Because if you do the sacrifice, you're willing to move, you're willing to take the job, learn the experience. And I'm telling you, the first two jobs that I've had out of college is basically them investing in me. Didn't make a bunch of money. Didn't really succeed. Made a bunch of mistakes. Got cocky when I had a little bit of success. Got knocked on my ass. And yeah. And now I'll talk to you guys about it and say, hey, this is my experience. This is what I did. And after the military, when I got out and I worked the HVAC, I thought like, oh my gosh. And so they gave me to manage teams and I did all that. And then I got cocky. And then I said, got burnt out. They're giving me more work, doing all that. And so I'm saying, no, enough is enough. And I've then left Europe, or no, then I moved to France, and then I left Europe to the United States. And now here, it's like a kid in a candy store where you can just pick and choose whichever opportunities you kind of want. And I know people are saying, I'm sending out 5, 6, 700 resumes, and I just can't secure it. And to you, I say, hey, you gotta reevaluate. You gotta see, hey, let's connect with these people. But I do connect with these people, and I talk to them, and then I say, how many people have you reached out to your old employees or your old coworkers after you left that company and said, hey, just checking in. How's the family? How's everything going? How's the company? Do you have time for a Zoom chat or something? Nobody. People don't do that. People don't. People leave the spot, leave the place. They move on, and then it's just ghost. They just ghost you. You don't know that they exist. And then all of a sudden, when they need a job, all of a sudden they come knocking. And it's like, interesting. Wasn't there? Well, you never reached out. But hey, let's think about it this way. You came and you were like, I'm leaving. Hey, Johnny, was really nice working with you. Let's stay in touch. And most people will say, yeah. I need to shoot them like, hey, I just started. You have a coffee chat. What's going on? How's life treating you? What kind of projects you're working on? And then you can see like, hey, there's openings at my company. There's opening at your companies. And so you never want to leave on bad terms. Because if you leave on bad terms, then that closes the door for good. And so just my piece of advice is value, value, value. And that's what's going to get you hired. And at least in my company, but I tell you, it is most companies. And who you know is another key factor. It's who you know. Network, network, network. And don't be that person that wants to go home and just have sex at the first night. Don't do that. It is a nice, you've got to massage the relationship. You've got to treat it delicately. You've got to not come in for the kill right away. It doesn't work like that. You got to do the slow approach. Make sure, like, it's almost like hunting, and that's why you call it job hunting. You got to do it the right way, and just don't go in and try to kiss the first 5 seconds you meet somebody. That's not how you're going to get a date, a second date. No, that's not how you're going to get a relationship out of it either. It's going to get you land you in jail and handcuffs and a lawsuit. So don't do that in dating or job hunting. They have a lot of similarities, and present your way in a positive way on all social media platforms. Positivity always, and never speak bad about your employer. or your college, so to speak, because there's people that are affiliated with your college, even though they might not say it. So check out how great it is in Viva Las Vegas. Rained yesterday, and now it's kind of muggy. It's like Florida weather. It's like, man, it's kind of muggy, but it's not warm. So it's like, eh. But if you haven't, please like and subscribe. Let me know. Am I completely off on this? What do you guys think? If you're hiring and you got some good insights, drop the comment below because I will pin it and we can have a discussion because I think these discussions need to happen. So let me know and I'll see you in the next one.